Greetings everyone, please give me a moment to make sure everything's set on up. Like Rumble is booting on up, Twitch is booted on up, YouTube is booting on up. Twitter has been booted on up. I forgot to turn on the live stream chat windows. And there we go. I think everything is now online. I need to turn on my, macros so I can move around the camera in my preferred manner with WASD. There it is. That's good. Looks like everything is good to go. Let me double check my other computers. Make sure I can see the live streams over there. Also disable a preview on OBS. Save some resources. And looks like everything's good to go. So let's go get started. Let's see. Is this one reasonable enough? I think so. Of course, that may not give an indication of skill, but make an indication of lack of skill. Because being maxed out doesn't mean you're good, but having lower than maxed out or just something low may also indicate not the highest quality of skill, perhaps relatively new. Especially if the person has like fair low level. It's not too hard to get levels in this game. If I think remember correctly, it's like you basically get a level just by playing a game. I also can't say. It's been a long time since I even paid attention to it. Whoops, that's times 2. I'm just trying to maximize. And let's go get started. Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Comp Heroes 2 replay. And I immediately forgot to turn on, thought I turned on my macros. Okay, apparently clicking on it didn't fix it. Spawn on the bottom left side is the blue Okinawa player. We got Last Smile. Spawn on the top right side is the red Soviets. We got Slofter. Well, I butchered that name well enough. But where did I see that? Remember seeing a windmill. Gotta love the old Comp Heroes 1 windmills. You'd be surprised how many structures are just brought over from Comp Heroes 1. You'd be surprised how well Comp Heroes 1 does hold up. Usually just taking the items from Comp Heroes 1, import them to the new game, touch up a couple things, and it's good to go. After all, a lot of old games actually did have high quality textures, just that modern hardware had to tone it down. But you can also see the age and the structure as well, where it's not exactly circular. You can see all the flat panels. At a glance, you won't notice it, but more stare at it, the more you realize it. Also, I've never seen the structure in the editor as well. Sort of surprised that's something that's not really used as a build-up structure, where we haven't seen all too much. Either way, enough gawking on the field objects. Now got Volksgrenadiers and conscripts now engaging each other. Got a pair of wells here. Makes me wonder. More I look at also maps, more wondering why are there two wells that close by each other. Was there some sort of feud between these two neighbors where this is my well and this is my well? They didn't want to share the wells? Oh well. For a symmetrical map design, it does make sense. Just use the same items on both sides and you got guaranteed symmetrical. Red has gone for a double combat engineers, triple conscript opener. The Okinawa player has gone for the standard triple Volks, no Kupovagen. Though Kupovagans are not uncommon. But I can easily see the appeal of not going for one since it has a very short lifespan in the game, while Volksgrenadiers have a permanent lifespan, assuming you don't let it die. Pulse Grenadiers push to the center map. These guys don't get ripped apart by the conscripts. Heavy cover means nothing at that close range. Volks Grenadiers do get behind and or in front of heavy cover. Combat Engineers will get some good flanking shots there. Combat Engineers have good rifles. There's only one boot on the side. Actually, the second guy is firing, but still not a good spot. Conscripts now flanking, get behind some light cover here. Good focus firing there. Good flamethrower pop. Flamethrowers do AoE damage. They're not behind heavy cover, so they don't take the bonus damage. But AoE is itself a bonus damage. More Volkswagens on the build queue. Conscripts now advancing, trying perhaps to capture the fuel sector, which he should be able to get it. The tractor's wired off. You know, Storm Pioneers wired off the tractor, not decide to figure out if it's still running or not to drive it away. Got a bit of wire there in front of the sandbags. Very nice. More wire there. Both players being very aggressive with wire placement. Very, very nice. Both players taking time to do it. Personally, when I was playing, I never really took time to build wire along stuff, because I'd rather have the units going around capturing up locations rather take time to wire something off. It is even though the wire and sandbags are free, it still has a cost of build time and thus occupy the hands of the units that's building it. So there is an opportunity cost. So it's not entirely completely free. Because if a squad's not pushing forward to capture up a sector, you lose out on the missions of fuel, or at least try to decapture a sector to deny that income to your opponent. But don't get me wrong, there is good value in placing down sandbags and placing down wire. I just have a different set of priorities when I ever play this game. Also, if a unit's capturing up a sector, might as well build sandbags, since the cost of the opportunity cost is inherently pretty low. Folks are just behind some good heavy cover. Mechanized HQ now deployed on the field. Mechanized HQ has been deployed on the field. Got MG34. We do have the Furestorm Doctrine. The Furestorm Doctrine does go quite well with the Mechanized HQ, since the Open Blitz truck is also an ambulance. So you have another source of healing there that's actually usable, unlike the Storm Pioneers medical supplies. Volks Grenadiers getting focused down there, they have to fall back. Good little pick there by Red. Oh, Red lost. No, I do not know why, but the Engineers not having him with the Minesweeper upgrade made me thought that he lost the squad. We do now have Tier 1 deployed on, or Tier 3 deployed on the field by Red, the Soviet player. So maybe T-70. So could a player can counter either with a Vulcanwerfer or with a Puma. The Puma is relatively expensive. Excuse me. The Puma does cost 70 fuel, which is and 320 manpower. The T-70 is the same fuel cost and less manpower. So the Puma, while effective versus the T-70, also does fall off quite quickly. Where it's expensive, and once it kills off the T-70, there's nothing much it can do. Personally, I think Pumas are actually a little bit overpriced for a counter unit. T-70 on the build queue. Another conscript squad by Red. You can also eye to research the mobilized reserves, get the 5-7-man squad early. However, you get that for free just by building Tier 4. And you don't get any refund or rebate when you build Tier 4 if you do research it. So I wonder how many people realize you can actually research this in this tech level. Conscripts are pretty nice. You don't have to have a 7-man squad. 7-man squads are, of course, very nice. Conscript Squad does fall back there. This Conscript Squad firing away.
Mortar team reports ready for combat.
T-70 push way forward. We do actually have a Puma. I wasn't paying attention to that. I did. For all, the Puma has a pretty fast production time at least. If possible, Panzerfaust could be very useful. Panzerfaust fires, connects, and here comes the Puma. Unlike his big cat brothers, this fast cat is ready to pursue the T-70.
We are losing supplies to the enemy.
Does a couple pins there, of course, the Puma. But the Puma, this should be easy win for the Puma. Puma does get the kill there. Puma just falls back, getting repairs. And now it's not going to be super useful. Other than providing some inherent protection from future vehicles in case he wants to go for a Lux or a Warframe half-track.
Enemy forces are attempting to capture our territory.
As the Puma does not offer much anti-infantry support. Its Pinto mount is okay. Good strike down those Volksgrenadiers.
On our territory.
I wonder, the Puma does use a MG42 sound effect. Yep, that's MG34. Just like the 222 is actually MG34. Germans use MG30. Speaking of MG34s, the second one has been pulling field. The Germans mostly use MG34s in their vehicles, or the MG42 is because the barrel of the MG42 had to be replaced by pulling it forward, while the MG34 can be pulled off the side. That's why they use MG34s on vehicles on the MG42s. Good mortar hit there, force him back. And the thing is, well, with the Puma on the field, you don't have to go for a Zis gun. It offers such poor anti-infantry, you can just pretty much ignore it. You may be able to pick it off of a handful of AT grenades, but all the munitions in that case will be worth more than the Puma. Well, it'll take like 4 AT grenades, 5 AT grenades to take out a Puma. Do you really want to spend 125 munitions on taking out Puma? Molotovs have been thrown there. The Volksgrenadiers do overrun the conscripts. And the other conscript squad does fall back. Conscripts do have the efficiency 1 ability, the Tripwire Flare, which is one of my favorite abilities in the entire game. It's such a nice ability. Rifle from landmines? Nah, let's go for something non-doctrinal. Trip flares. Volksgrenadiers do take a bit of damage. They do go incendiary grenade. Column Engineer could be merged. He decides not to merge it.
A sector has been cut off.
Volksgrenadiers do take a little bit of damage there. Volksgrenadiers need to fall back now. They do get wiped. We do now have a half-track here. Whether that's going to be for battle group or sheer panzer quarters. Volksgrenadiers here need to fall back. Is he lagging? Okay, he is falling back now. Mortar rained a little bit short. Or quite significantly short, honestly.
Secure the vehicle. Location set. Begin conversion. Ready for action.
Conscripts roaring away. MG34 does fall back there. Puma, he's helping. He needs to push forward to get that Pinto mount in range. And something I noticed when I was looking into this, I could have sworn I saw a little bit. That MG may be a little bit bugged. I saw something that looks like a little bit of clipping there when the other time I zoomed in onto it.
Command half-track has been permanently established as a static post. Do you need something?
We do now have a mechanized armor company now being employed in the field, so tier 4 T-34-76s are perfectly adequate against Pumas, or actually just straight up good. Mass Pumas can counter T-34-76s, but T-34-76s are pretty good in this situation. He has not selected Doctrine. He can bring in T-34-85s, more T-34-85s, or KV-1s. I'm actually more leaning towards KV-1s, but then I have a bias against T-34-85s and bias towards KV-1s. Also could get some PPSHs. You could cut that wire if you so choose. MG34 does get a bit of suppression there, and the conscripts or the Shun Pioneers do save the munitions sector. Gonna stay on the MG34. Incendiary grenade there. Folks need to fall back. Conscripts coming for a Ura flank. This gun in the region as well. Folks need to get some good damage. Overall, while he does have tier 4, the Soviet player, I would definitely advise against Katusha because the OKW player should be willing to gamble and sacrifice a Puma to get out a Katusha, to remove a Katusha. Since he knows how little of lifespan the Puma has left. So I would say overall be best to go for T-34-76 or Doctrinal call-in. Flame Engineers do get exploded. Their pack does explode. Another SWS half-track on the build queue, which he has gone for Battle Group HQ, which makes sense for medics. He could have gone for, like I said, Fierce Stern for the Opal Blitz for a bit of healing. So right now the Opal player is very far from blowing out a medium tank. And here's a problem as well going for Puma with OKW. Like I said before, in the T-70 and the Puma were equal fuel costs. So the Soviet player is not down any additional fuel by losing the T-70 to a Puma. But the teching up from that position for the OKW player means he has to invest some additional fuel on just the just get out medics. Conscripts do not get wiped out there. Shun Pioneers gets good work done, and the MG34 does press this conscript squad, does recover, and does fall back now.
Engineers ready for assignment.
T-34-76 on the field, a perfectly fine tank right now, which should provide a lot of pressure. He's very far from getting out of sheer transporters. Is he on the sheer transporters back here? Why there? I can understand being defensive, keeping it nice and safe and to one of your base sectors, but he could at least deploy it out right here, provide some coverage for these VPs or these strategic points, because at least that would be nice and safe and still provide some field support. But way back there does get us turret jam. That's still a nice thing about the Puma though. That's why I said how much it's it does fall off pretty quick. This ability allows us to stay in the game for a little bit longer, the aim shot ability. It's 45 munitions for a turret jam. Turret jam is incredibly powerful. It's very difficult to use a tank when a turret's jammed. Just make sure you move out of that same spot. It also, if you use on a casemate such as a SU-85, I'm pretty sure that's a full stun. So the Puma does have some scalability, but does fall off in this part of the game. Plus, right now, he doesn't exactly have 45 missions to keep on spamming out that ability. Puma does take another pen there from the Zis gun, giving a Veterancy 1.
Target secure.
Mechanical Warfare does take a small hit there. Puma gets a good shot. Using aim shot once again. Gets another turret jam. Conscripts do get wiped out there. We do have 7-man squads on the rest of these guys.
Marking and targeting of vehicles is now available. 120
Let's see, did this guy have
enemy
7-man
forces are
squad?
neutralizing a
1,
sector.
2, 3, 4, 5. I only see 5 guys there. Must have worked the 5 guys restaurant. Ooh, was that a bit of friendly fire there from the T-34? One friendly kill, massive friendly fire hit there.
Fresh Guards troops are standing by.
Good hits there onto the T-34. And the conscripts do fall back there. Conscripts do get suppressed.
Enemy forces capturing supply sector.
Nice little bit of mortar smoke. Panzer authorization has been authorized. Conscripts has fallen back. Volkswagen's on top of the VP. Conscripts on top of a bit of light cover. Or should say in light cover since it's a crater. Now do have a squad of guards. He has selected the guard motor coordination tactics. And this Volks could go down. They're pretty stacked up. T-34-76 rolls a miss there. T-34-76 has pretty good hull-mounted machine guns and coaxials. So gotta make sure you keep those going. Good damage on T-34-76. Does get a hit, nice double tap there, but not enough to kill it off. The Puma does 120 damage, not 160.
We have lost a mortar crew.
Mortar does get decrewed there. Landmine detonated there. Folks, the Cannon Warfare took a pretty good hit. Great hit there onto the Sturm Pioneers. Splashes the other Volksgrenadiers. The Cannon Warfare will escape on out of there. Good shot there onto the conscripts.
To the enemy.
We got both these Volksgrenadiers now falling back.
Reconnaissance vehicle ready.
Target captured.
He did use the aim shot ability there. Aim shot ability has a perfect accuracy against infantry. This ability is also pretty useful for counter sniping. We do not have a OKW Panzer IV in the build queue. We do have a T-34-85 on the field as well. Quite a good time to get one out. Definitely good call to go for a T-34-76 first. T-34-85 does get a good shot in the conscripts.
Our enemy has only 100 points.
Volkswagen is heading down south.
Supply sector.
Our squad does get forced some back, taking a bit of damage upon retreat. May lose a couple more guys. But we've got now the conscripts here. Could advance forward to a bit of light cover. Great shot there by the lag, wounding both the squads quite significantly. Good shot there. Conscripts are on the way forward. T485 reversing on in, gets a good pen there in the Panzer IV. Not a rear armor shot, does a front armor hit. Double tap there onto the T485. Mark target onto the Panzer IV. And as well, the Puma has access to the aim shot, which could be very useful. Commanders do fall back. Got an MG34 in a good position, so are the Volks. Bit of friendly fire damage there.
Enemy forces are capturing our supplies.
Incendiary grenade was thrown there, or Molotov. Howdy. Yep, that's a 1v1. We can do some 2v2s next game, if you like. Conscript. Doesn't take any damage there. We've got now this next lag shot. Splashes a little bit, nothing too significant. Sounds good. Conscripts do fall back, severely wounded. We do now have the conscripts push way forward. M354 activating incendiary rounds early. So suppress the conscript squad there. T-34 76 advancing. Conscripts coming in for an AT grenade. Has enough munitions, has almost 100 munitions at the moment, so another Mark target could be brought on in if he so chooses. But probably not really a good idea to do that on a Puma. But going for AT grenade will consume enough munitions, so he can't go for another Mark target for now. Especially when he threw the Molotov there. Shrimp Pioneers over there. T485 up here, because he Mark target in the Panzer IV. Gets a miss, but splashes the Panzer IV. So I have no idea how much damage it precisely does. It may be full damage.
The enemy is down to 100 points.
We are ready to go, comrade.
Puma push way forward. Got a smoke barrage there. Very nice. No MGs for red. Going from Su-85. I don't think you should go for one. As much as I like the Su-85, it's only fighting against a single Panzer IV and Puma. T-34 76s and 85s should be more than plentiful. Volkswagen trying to go for Panzers perhaps, but maybe not. Volkswagen do decapture the point, may yet decides to fall back. We do have now the tracking ability being utilized. Tracking, significantly increases sight radius. Infantry can be tracked through fog forward. Infantry, not vehicles. Because that's a doctrinal ability. A really bad one. T-476 does roll up bounds. Targeting there. Heat rounds. He has selected the elite armor doctrine, so he has loaded up some heat rounds.
The enemy has 75
Guards
You appear suited for command.
almost gets wiped out there. Conscripts do fall back there. Got now the Su-85 advancing. There's way too much here. The Panzer IV should just keep its distance. Got a lot of AT sources here. AT gun, Su-85, T-385, T-376. Folks in this, they fall back. One more pin. The OKW Panzer IV is done for. Could go for a Jag Panzer if he wants to go something a little bit more cheaper and more effective versus armor.
The enemy has only 50 points remaining.
OKW players down to 48 tickets, not too many. Lig is desperate, going up north to capture the VP.
The enemy is taking what
And now
we
got
have
the
secured.
Storm Pioneers take a little bit of damage there. Storm Pioneers do fall back. This barrage onto the Wickenwerfers. Puma may have got a pen there. But of course, the T-385 has more health than normal, so that reduced aim shot is not too significant. Does leave it vulnerable to a Panzerfaust though.
Enemy forces capturing supply sector.
Volkswagen instead of map in force, but getting hit by multiple sources. May see a light artillery barrage. Nope, does not have enough munitions for it.
Points.
And the Oakland player has surrendered. This Angrade saying, "Thank you for watching," and on to the next replay. On to a 2v2. There we go. Spectate. Let's see if we can't get ones that are not involved in Soviet OKW. Try to get a mix of everybody. That seems like a mix of everybody. Seems reasonable enough. Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Company Heroes 2 replay. Spawn on the top right side as the blue USF player, we got Master Steve 117. Spawn as the yellow British Forces, we got Sir Ducksworth. Spawn on the bottom left side as the magenta Wehrmacht or Austere, we got Roddenho. And spawn as the red OKW player, we have Madman. 3 of the players have selected Doctrine. We do have the Mobile Assault Regiment, so we may see some early Royal Recovery Engineers. Yes, we do. We do have Airborne Company, so we may see some early Pathfinders. Yes, we do. We do see Elite Armor Doctrine, so you may see an early 221. Not yet. And as the Magenta OKW or Wehrmacht player, Encirclement, let's see.
We have a fresh Grenadier squad.
Definitely not an encirclement map. So I don't think he's gone for encirclement. I do not think we're going to see close the pocket. If he does, good on him. But this map, I don't think it's going to be great too many cutoff sectors to worry about, but he could try, well, encircling a smaller pocket than a big pocket. In the game files, this ability is called Crush the Pocket rather than Close the Pocket. And honestly, not entirely half wrong when it comes to description. Grenadiers seeing a little bit of fire there. M242 firing away. Grenadiers advancing, trying to get a Panzerfaust off. Grenadier carrier keep his distance. Grenadiers charging. He does have 30 munitions at the moment, which is enough for a Panzerfaust. MG42 gets a burst there onto the Universal Carrier. Volks Grenadiers behind some light cover. Got the right squad, Pathfinders, and Rear Stun squad here. Pathfinder should focus on the wounded squad there, so Scope House can get some crit shots. The Pathfinder's crit shots. The snipe ability is applied if the target it hits is at below 40% health. Also, they vet up very, very quickly. They have half the efficiency requirement to vet up. Folks are to fall back. Reaction squad are wounded. Pathfinders are pretty wounded. Do not have an early 2-2-1. And a fresh health, fresh rifleman, blah. Recovery sappers now pushing down south. MG42 firing away against the infantry section. New section does fall back there. Sounds like we got double MG42 by the Wehrmacht player. Sturm Pioneers quite wounded. Got the 2-2-1 advancing. Rapid Squad falls back as well as the Sturm Pioneers. We do have the Universal Carrier with the Vickers K upgrade. Vickers K is quite wounded. May see a heat grenade. That heat grenade will keep him very warm. Especially the engine. It's on fire. Battle phase 1 now complete by the OKW or the Wehrmacht player.
A new Grenadier squad is ready.
Yeah, I think my game's sort of bugging out. Right now here are Wehrmacht lines. Even though it says I have blue selected, I have red up here. I think my game's bugging out at the moment. Probably something you probably wouldn't notice unless I pointed it out. But I think the replay system is a little bit buggy right now. Infantry 42 firing against the infantry section. Bit of damage there onto the MG42. Got the sappers advancing. And the MG42 does escape on out of there. US players blobbing up a little bit there, so they're going to be a bit vulnerable to a high explosive. US players going for an ambulance now.
The enemy is taking our territory.
Grenadiers under attack!
Volkswagens do take a bit of damage, but nothing too sick at the moment. But they will get easily overran. Another Volkswagen is rotating over here. Here, 2-2 put on the field, pursuing the Universal Carrier. Bit of flamethrower burst there on the intersection, getting a bit of AoE damage. Grenadiers on the retreat path. We'll probably see a Panzerfaust onto it. Nope, he just put him gun it down with bolt action rifle fire. Which he did successfully. Very nice. Saves the munitions there. 2-2 now engaging this intersection at close range. Intersection does fall back, possibly getting wiped there. Flame Worker Squad needs to fall back, pretty wounded, but may not have access to any sort of healing source. Recovery Sappers fall back as well. Looks like everything with yellow's falling back. Red's non pursuit, trying to finish off that one-man squad, rotating the turret around. Looks like he's getting distracted quite often. Got M118 employed there. Rolls a miss. Well, with no follow-up shot, there was no chance of it getting wiped out. MG42 gets inside that garrison. Now getting out of the garrison. Probably gonna get wiped out there, but we got the other MG42 here. Drawing the fire, the MG42 is actually a good call. And with that little bit movement there, save the MG42 from being wiped out.
Target that infantry!
Oh, we got now the incendiary rounds being fired away. The number of infantry sections right there. Grenadiers do fall back. Pioneers do find the 6-pounder. Does not get it wiped out. Smoke barrage there. Probably from the pyrotechnic squad. NG-42 does skip out of the garrison. The cannon warfare rolls a miss. And looks like decides to destroy some hay. This section does get inside the garrison. Good 2 does see a nice 6-pounder shot there and will not go down there.
MG-34 gun crew ready for action. Contact! Small arms fire!
Oh, here got the rifle squad and capture forward. Volks are nearest behind some good heavy cover. Getting upgraded for STGs now. Does have a battle group HQ in the field. Does have medics right now. Rolls a miss there on the AE half track. One arc squad does fall back.
Taking effective fire!
More smoke has been pulled out over here. Inch-42 trying to reposition. LMG-42 pulled in the field. The recovery sapper does get suppressed by the MG-42. Does take time to soft retreat away. We got also a split trench here, not getting garrison. This guy needs to fall back, about to get wiped on out. Rifle grenade fired. It's good hit there on the garrison.
The capture point is being overrun.
Commandos, infiltration commandos pull in the field. Nothing captured MG-42 unless sack entire squad. Grenadiers need to keep hold of one man and they can recapture the MG-42. Polishers stay in the fight because now it's going to be pursued. Stormtroopers deployed out back here. Flanks the support weapons. The 2 push right forward. And the Grenadiers do drop a model. 6-pounder does get a good shot onto the 2-2. About to going down. MP4 is now deployed in the field. And Stormtroopers are now in the blazing zone of the slit trench. Can't redeploy and engage down the trenches. And the Vickers does fall back. MG-42 firing away. Infiltration commandos about to get wiped on out. He does pick up the MG-42, it looks with a Pioneer squad, looks like. And the MG-42, or the 222 does finish off the infiltration commandos and probably could grab himself a 6-pounder. A free AT gun is always quite nice. Possibly, but who knows. Couple Heroes 2 is a game where losing some things here and there is not the end of the world. A half track does press down the Shun Pioneers. We do have a landmine there. He did have spotted, and I think it's now, yep, it is currently swept by that rear echelon squad. Cannon warfare gets a good shot there. And the A half track is slowly creeping away, fires again, and takes out the A half track. Losing the A half track is a loss, but they don't have to fight against any loiters, so they don't need an AA platform. Just anti-infantry platforms and anti-tank platforms. Red's not going for squad of And we do have the 223 deployed on the fuel sector. Needs some repairs. This will give the OKW player a decent amount of extra income.
On standby for field operations.
Volks Rangers may get wiped out there. Bar Rifleman, Bar Captain. The Captain's Thompson's still up and going, but they all fall back.
Unit ready.
Obersassen now deployed on the field. Volks Grenadiers and Sturm Pioneers push away from forward. Got the Pyrex squad bringing some more smoke rounds. Very nice. And now got some paratroopers being deployed on the field. Hasn't really gone for bar fighters. This guy may or may not have bars. I see those are 2 scope rifle squads, and the last guy I think had a carbine, so no bars on that squad. Now got high explosive rounds being brought on that structure. 2-2 straightforward. Volks Grenadiers pushing up forward. They do fall back. Obersassen behind some good heavy cover. Now got this intersection taking some damage. Good damage there. Got that squad now falling on back. All these forces charging way forward. OKW Panzer IV now on the build queue. Very nice. Magenta has a lot of fuel for a Panzer IV as well. But we see Battle Phase 3. You know, he built the tech structure. He maybe not eyeing actually to get anything from there. Maybe trying to go for a Brumbar, maybe Panzerwerfer. He sees Airborne, and also it wouldn't be half bad, or his team can go for an A half track. The Sheer Panzer Corps is a little bit inadequate trying to deal with the P-47s. We got some S mines now being deployed in the field. Nice little batch of S mines. More S mines there, very nice. You don't have any massive munitions sink. He knows close the pocket is not feasible with this doctrine. Mines have been swept, which means they also don't get detonated by the Centaur. Good pen there. Volks Grenadiers take a little bit of damage. Grenade's been thrown. Good grenade. Cooked frag from the paratroopers. Didn't get the wipe though, but that was a pretty good grenade. Good pen there on the 2-2. Open Panzer IV, engaging the infantry. Centaur AA hitting the Grenadiers. 6-pounder, not 6-pounder, M180 gun, force on the ground. Get a hit there on the open Panzer IV and a pen. They got 2 pens now. And he's fall back into repairs. His teammate can help out with that. Good pen in the Centaur. We got break the supply line. He decaptured the fuel sector. 80 missions to decapture the fuel sector is expensive. Probably not worth it. US player's going for a Scott, which he does have double M1AT gun. I think one Jackson would have been good before he goes for Scots. Something a bit more mobile to hit the Panzer IV. Mount AT guns. I think Magenta should eye for a Panzerwerfer. He has enough resources for Panzerwerfer. He has enough resources right now for a Panther. Of course, no tech structure built. I did not. I haven't been to a movie theater in years, and why would I ever want to watch that? Good pens there onto the Panzer IV, and the Panzer IV goes down. So I guess he doesn't need the Jacks anymore. Never mind. Good frag grenade there on the Obersassen, and Obersassen gets fully wiped. Volkswagen is falling. Oh, what? That Scotch shot. Okay. US players really pulling at. Oh. The OKW player just lost everything. He's down on 1 Volks, 1 Sturm Pioneer. Lost Obersassen, lost 2 Volks, lost the Panzer IV. Has a half track on the field. I guess US players blob. Sturm Tiger can be a possibility. Two should try to stay alive. It would be a decent anti-aircraft platform to deal with the potential P-47s. Not the greatest, but not bad. Probably equal to the sheer Panzer quarters. Good shot there in the Centaur. Centaur does back on off. That may have been forced from the ground. Vickers somehow escapes on out of there, or MG42, and does not get shot off there onto the. Oh, another supply break? It doesn't do much damage, or really any damage to infantry units. So decapture the fuel sector, even though, and there's already a guy on top of it, it's not worth sending your missions into that. Supply break, as standalone ability, is very, very overpriced. It should only cost like 40, even within the context of being in encirclement doctrine. It's not super great, because it's easy to counter by it's like cash. Got hikes with barrage there onto the MG. Craft squads do fall back. Panther straight forward. Captain does get crushed a little bit there. Double 6-pounder or M180 gun there. One did use armor piercing round, Sabo or HEVAP, whatever it's called. Grenadiers just lost just got dropped. There's a dropped LMG there. Does take up the 2-2. The Pathfinder's going to pick up the MG42. Very nice. And the Sheer Panzer Quarter is also hitting the cache, as well as the M180 guns. Yeah, I think Magenta... The Panther, I think, was not a great call. I think he should have gone for Panzerwerfer. Brumbar as well. Centaur and Scots pose no threat to vehicles, so Brumbar would have been perfectly fine. Bolsonaires do take a bit of damage there. 6-pounder barrage for Land Mattress barrage, now raining on in, gets good damage. You see a grenade onto the AT gun. They'll just getting ripped apart. And now the Sheer Panzer Corps is down, so Sturmtag is not a possibility. But you had all 3 structures built, which means King Tiger is probably going to be the solution for the OPW player. Now the squad of Volks can't go for Obersatzen. No Sheer Panzer quarters. Good pen there under the Panther. Pioneers trying to push way forward. You see the supply break really put a crater around the fuel sector. Stormtroopers push way forward with MP40s, getting some good damage there. Obersatzen receives a frag grenade there. One grenade was dodged. And now we got Victory 3 on the paratroopers. Captures 6-pounder, getting some hits there onto the Centaur. Does get a wipe there on the Vickers. And now we've got the True Pioneers falling on back. Oh, taking out the Vickers, not a bad idea. The Wehrmacht players now go for a Panzerwerfer. I think that's a good call.
Taking our territory.
2-2 Carcass does go down.
Enemy has broken our
Brad just needs to start saving up fuel. Go for the King Tiger. Not fuel, manpower. He has going to have plenty of fuel. The problem is manpower right now for him. Auto grenade there. Rifle squad does dodge it. The Scots sing hello to the Obsidian though. Good shot there by the AT gun. Centaur a little bit wounded once again. HV-42 getting some hits there onto the infantry section. Got the infiltration commandos. Compog on charge forward to throw a gammon. Or the Centaur. And now got the stormtroopers pushed forward with hold fire turned on.
our headquarters.
Missed shots hit the Panzer quarters. Heavy Panzer Corps, causing that attack notification. Obsassin does fall back there. Good bundle grenade there on the paratroopers. Looks like a King Tiger will be brought in about a minute, maybe a minute and a half with enough manpower. Good shot there on the Panther. Panzerwerfer barrage. Gets a okay hit on the 6-pounder. He was unlucky he didn't hit any of the Royal Engineers. Each section does take a bit of damage there. And here comes a Panzerwerfer barrage, or a Land Mattress barrage. I'm getting all the names mixed up today, aren't I? Now we got the strafing from the Centaur.
Stands ready to cut off the enemy.
I can hear the King Tiger, so Red is deployed the King Tiger. Another Panzerwerfer on the build queue for Magenta. I say that's probably a good idea, either that or the Brumbar. Not enough fuel for the Brumbar, so I think the Panzerwerfer wouldn't be half bad. Help deal with the globs. His teammate has the King Tiger, he has a Panther, so they have plenty of anti-armor, mobile anti-armor. Panzerwerfer push way forward, it sounds like a different vehicle entirely. Good shot there in the paratroopers. Schoenfeiner's, yeah, falling back's a good idea. Bit of repairs there. Panzerwerfer barrage. Destroys the radio antenna. Officer upgrade, the spotter upgrade onto the King Tiger now. Decent damage. Oh, got a full wipe there. Infiltration commandos on hold fire turned on. Does get splashed by the Centaur, alerting them. Put in the combat state. Bounce there. Heat rounds utilized. That allows the King Tiger to two-shot vehicles. We got some sort of artillery flares there, probably from the King Tiger. King Tiger's falling back, took a bit of a beating. Gets a great hit there. Panther charges way forward. Evap utilize and take aim, or sable rounds. Pen and bounce. Just need to blitz on out of there. Heat grenade. Can no one go blitz on out of there? Nice smoke grenade there from the stormtroopers. Force out of ground. Unlucky. Hits the ground right in front of him. Excellent smoke grenade. That probably saved the Panther. Though the big cat's going to be knocked out for a bit of while, taking a severe amount of damage. Scott here. Oh, Centaur. Another scan action. Oh, and find some S-mines, and maybe a handful of them still there. I saw some sort of ticker there. Looks like, is that the land mattress or an AT gun? Either way, we've got Tommy there. I love bad ragdolls. The land mattress far away. Can't say that's the same or a different one. So that probably was an AT gun. Heat rounds once again utilizing the King Tiger. Increases damage by 50%. We got the Saber rounds hitting the King Tiger. It's also Veteran C3 with Take Aim. This thing must annihilate armor. That King Tiger needs to fall back. Gotta respect the Veteran C3. Comet tank on the field. Panther Force Fire Ground gets a nice little pen. And Comet just retaliates. Couple good pens there. Panther takes some damage, needs to fall back as repairs. Flammable Warfare. Getting some good damage there onto the paratroopers, but they are armed with M1919s. Heat grenade push way forward. Centaur force back the stormtroopers. So they can't throw a smoke grenade anymore. Comet tank in pursuit. Rear armor exposed on the Panther. Good hit there on the Panther. Panther rolls a miss. Panther gets a pen there. Heat round there. Does not take up the Comet tank. Panther goes down. And the Penstruct finishes it off. Very close to saving the Panther, but unsuccessful. But taking out a Panther or a Comet, probably a bit more fair to the British player, but still a reasonable trade, I would say. Infiltration Commandos do get pinned by the Panzerwerfer. Up north, we do have this Scott, maybe being pursued by the King Tiger. Does have Spearhead turned on. He has 115 munitions, enough for the Coordinated Barrage and some more heat. Another Jackson build queue for Blue. His AT guns are getting pretty well vetted. Increased building accuracy. The accuracy is somewhat important. Rate of fire targeting and resulting more penetrating hits. The rate of fire, I don't think actually increases the pen. I think the increased rate of fire allows more chances for pens. So that's what it means.
We're at 200 points.
You now have a, well, the Jackson Steel course being built. I already mentioned that. My mind's a little bit fried. Another Sure Panzer is being deployed on the field, so he feels confident to pull it out again. His teammate has two Panzerwerfers, so he doesn't need a stupid Foos. And Wilkes tend not to have a lot of longevity. There goes the Major. That Scott could get one shot by the King Tiger, I believe. As this does 120 plus 240. I think that would be a lethal shot to the Scott. Infiltration, or not infiltration commandos. Stormtroopers. Centaur gets abandoned. Infiltration commandos get pinned. Don't use this ability. It's not been successful. Centaur gets full destroyed. Very good. Stormtroopers do fall back. We got triple neutral capture, so no ticket progress being made. Red or Axis players do have a slight advantage over the Allies. Land mattress barrage back here. Gets some decent hits there. I think there's a partial barrage there.
We have lost a peg gun.
Got hits, misses either way. Grenadiers engaging these forces. We got the vacuum ragdoll physics. I love the ragdoll physics. Every game generally does better with ragdolls. Grenadiers get forced back by the infiltration commandos. We got triple Panzerwerfer now deployed in the field by Magenta. I don't think triple Panzerwerfer is a good idea. I can see rebooting a Panther. I can see going for a Panzer Force, Studs, Brumbars, but not triple Panzerwerfer. because I do need mobile AT. Smoke grenade there by the infiltration commandos. This Pathfinder is also equipped with bar as well as the LMG-42. It's a very well equipped bar finder. And they're on the King Tiger. Paratroopers pushing forward versus Vet 3 Osterlassen. Transport for Barrage. Force back the Pathfinders, almost took them out with that last rocket. Stormtroopers come to a nice little flank there, engaging the MG-42, crewed by infiltration commandos. We got another squad infiltration commandos here. Does get that one fully wiped out.
Machine gun crew killed.
Probably won't be able to capture it.
Trying to take a point from us.
Gamma bomb throw.
Broken.
Does get splashed by it. And does fall back there. Got triple capture in favor of the allies. King Tiger gets a good pen there. Does activate heat rounds a little bit too late. This will not reduce the number of shots to kill the Jackson. Though this should be able one shot the Stewart. It has, or the Scott. It has 4 something health, not 320. That's a Warfare Barrage or a Land Mattress Barrage there. Yellow does not have too much on the field, has a lot of resources. I generally like Fireflies more than Comets when it comes to anti-tank, so I think maybe a Firefly would be better. Red spot out of Jagdpanzer, but it's actually not really necessary. I suppose there's still one Jackson. Break supply line once again. On the mission sector. Oh, you can see he's been dropping a lot of these break supply lines here. Because that's actually quite a sizable crater as well. Will they deny 80 munitions worth munitions by the breaking that supply line? Probably not. Because I have the brain decaptured for 8 minutes. That's 7 minutes closer. A little bit more than 7 minutes, a little less than 8 minutes. Grenadier's pushing over there. Infiltration commandos force with the MG-42. And that Grenadier just hits the retreat button. 2 infiltration commandos. Yeah, retreat.
Our supply line just got cut off.
Stormtroopers coming forward. Camouflage. He does have enough munitions for Crush the Pocket. Let's see, what do they need to capture? This point and this point? Actually, there's actually 2 points. In theory, if this point gets destroyed, he can break the supply line and then close the pocket. It is possible, but it does not... Oh, got tactical assault there. That could be dead. It is dead infiltration commando. Tactical advance. Double bounce of the Comet. And the AT gun does get decrewed. Good pen there. He is going to stop to capture this cutoff sector. Yeah, kind of getting some decent damage there. Panther rolling a lot of bounces. Jagdpanther rolling a lot of misses. Comet's rolling a lot of misses. I suppose it's equal. Does take a double tap there. And nice little smoke round. Heat grenades can lock down the Panther. And yeah, they destroyed this, not enough munitions for it. Jagdpanzer does take a pen there. Probably just best to fall back the Axis armor. Incendiary rounds there. Good to stay on those forces. Great hit there on those units. Lots of bounces there. Does take out that crew. Does take a pen there from Jackson. We got armor-piercing rounds utilized there. But I think there's a little bit of line sight blocker issues. King Tiger now Vet C3. Landmaster's Barrage hitting the MG-42, forcing him back. Another break supply right here. Trying to destroy this mission's cache. The British player has over 500 munitions, but no real munitions sink utilized. Destroys the cache there. Now that point can be decaptured. And a Crush the Pocket could be very powerful. Bounces there. King Tiger push way forward. Boba Assassins push way forward. Great shot from the Rifle Squad. That Rifle Squad does get fully wiped out. Jackson gets a bouncer. Yag Panzer advancing. Gets a pen there on the Jackson. Pen there on the Yag Panzer from the AT gun. Shooting gallery there. Rage fall back. Young Panzer is basically knocked out. Russian Squad does get hit there. Pack 4 gets decrewed and 4-2 trying to rotate to the center. Right now, BP's in favor of the Axis players by a fair margin. But that can quickly change. Comtek taking a pen there from the Panther. Another Yag Panzer build queue.
Enemy down to 100 points.
King Tiger Bronze artillery there. Got now the Stormtroopers falling back.
Enemy fire. Jagdpanzer has arrived.
I think as well, when it comes to close the pocket, they could just break this point there to close just on the left side of the map rather than the entirety of the map. You can just use close the pocket by closing a small pocket rather than a gigantic pocket. Super Focus on the build queue. Magenta has 4 Panzerwerfers. Break the supply line is available once again. And I actually do think let them capture this sector, break the supply line, and then crush the left flank. I think that's actually a good... No, not there. He doesn't realize he can close the pocket. If I'm reading the mini-map right. I could be misreading the mini-map. Panzer Barrage gets a pretty good hit there. Bounce there, pen there. I could be misreading it. Yeah, actually I think I am misreading it. I don't think that's a cutoff sector. I think the northern strategic point needs to be destroyed as well, because if I look a bit more closely, yeah, that's captured, and mission sector will provide supply due this way. So yeah, I was completely wrong. Because this is the command sector that goes straight over here. So yeah, I was completely wrong about that.
Those dumb bastards are picking a fight.
Good pen there on the Comet tank. Double Jackson there. Emergency 1, Emergency 2, so HEVAT's available, but you may just want to try to save up for
Enemy forces
P-47s.
are now down to 200 points.
Throws a smoke grenade. Remember as well, you can use breakthrough to have your vehicle start capturing up the sectors, which could have been useful there if you have, though it doesn't have a massive stockpile of fuel, but it is a possibility that Magenta can do. Got another squad of paratroopers, not upgraded just yet. I think it's same as munitions for P-47s. Our other paratrooper squad is better than a regular rifleman, though it is more expensive. Got the first strike there. He has gone for ambush camouflage. Spell ambush camouflage. Infantry 42 does get wiped out there. Panzerwerfer barrage. Somewhere back here. Super Spruce barrage somewhere back here. Misses a land mattress. Great hit there by the Land or Panzerwerfer. Wipes out one of the squads, force back the other. Land Mattress Barrage engaging back here. Which is the Suxfus may find it. Next Panzerwerfer Barrage. Something found the mark. Hard to keep track of every single barrage. Heat rounds utilized once again. Jackson goes down. The Agcons needs repairs. Especially for King Tiger in the field. So that thing's become a bit more of a monster. Panther, eventually one. Can blitz forward. White phosphorus around there. Another break supply line up there. I mean, he has these amount of munitions reserved, so he can waste munitions on it. I don't think it's a good use of munitions. Just lay down teller mines everywhere. Though I think his teammate needs the pioneers.
Only to 50 points.
He has this amount of manpower, so maybe machine gun bunkers. And his fuel's high enough, I would say he can utilize breakthrough if needed. We do have a double capture in their favor. Yellow doesn't have too much. A small, well-rounded composition, but needs a little bit more. Firefly's been pulling the field. Spam tulips. He has it upgraded. He has plenty of munitions for tulips. Another reason why to go for tulips over comets, if you go on induction, this doesn't have any munition sink. You could spam up tulips and be very Dutch. There goes the MG. Now the Firefly bouncing against the King Tiger. That guy gets incinerated.
We are close to victory. Press on. The enemy has 25 points remaining.
Land Mattress Barrage raiding on in. Heat round with the on the Firefly. If it takes another shot from the heat rounds, it's that Firefly is dead. Commentator sees a Panzerfaust and a heat round. King Tiger Veteran C5, so it's now Emperor Tiger, probably. Smoke grenade there from the sappers.
To 10 points.
Panther takes severe damage. Firefly takes a pen there from the Jagdpanzer. Allies down to 4 VPs. X-Boys have a secure at the moment. This may get decaptured. It looks like we'll get decaptured in time. King Tiger's taking a lot of damage. Suxfus Barrage somewhere. P-47 is being brought on in. No pip amounts to reveal himself. But here comes first rockets. Hits the Pioneers hard. Takes out Suxfus. Panther charging. Just save back. Get out of the radius. Hope the Pendamount doesn't reveal himself too much. He's revealing himself. Red could eye for a flat half track just for additional ATR purposes. Pass files onto the Stewart or Scott. Let's go with Boarhound then. Panther almost goes down. There's only one P-47 in the moment. Infantry Commandos gets annihilated. Land Mattress raining on in, hitting the friendly fire there. Commandos should get wiped out. Goes a Gammon. Another P-47 run. Hits the Panzer. Obsatz on top of the VP. You can throw a frangible smoke if needed. Firefly's trying to knock him off or crush. I think knocking him off is more reliable than trying to crush him with a Firefly. And he's doing a great job with that. Does take a pen there. A lot of potential crushes there. We also got the carcass stuck in his shreds. Like I said, I love ragdolls. Oh god, that's gruesome. Oh god. There's gonna be a bloody mess all over that Firefly. It's... Sorry, I'm distracted by that ragdoll. And that's captured, and that's gonna be game. And And that is game. This Android saying thanks for watching, and on to the next replay. Before I get started on the next replay, I'm going to take time and restart the game. Since this game still has VRAM issues, we'll probably always have VRAM issues. Always a good idea to restart your game after a couple games. And while this is booting it up, I'm going to use the restroom. Please give me a moment.
Sega.
My apologies, I'm back. So what your next casting, do you need oh, whatever I'm going to find in a 2v2, I usually just try to find one that's reasonable. If you have any players in mind that are currently playing the game, I can take a look at it. Why is it not loading? My internet down? I do replays if you have any. Just send me a code2.org link. Like the ones you sent. How long ago was those you sent? I thought I'd done all that was submitted into me. Because I'm pretty sure all the replays that was submitted to me I've already casted. Because right now my game's not pulling up any replays. Oh, code2.org. You can just simply go to replays and just upload one. It's very handy at that. Why is this? Something wrong? I may need to restart the game again. If not, I can always try to find some replays of the code2.org. Try rebooting the game. I'm not sure why I couldn't see any of the games. Set one name. Set one name.
Sega.
Let's see. Oops. Named at Overplay. Yeah. Turn off the macros I use to rebind the camera. Let's see. Don't see your email. Oh, I don't know Code2Discord. I'm talking about the website. I'm not on any Company Heroes 2 or 1 Discord channel. So I have no idea what you're referring to. If you just want to upload one to code2.org and take a look at it. Okay, this service must went down if this is the case when I go to auto match. All at starting 8 minutes? Yeah, it looks like the servers may went down for a moment. Yep, code2.org. Here, I'll just send a link. Post a link in Twitch. Yeah, it looks like the servers may went down, so all the replays or starts within 8 minutes, so. I have a bit of time, not like I can get one. Yeah, all the games I have to view are gonna be pretty outdated. Or not outdated, a long wait time just even start watching them. Where's a link to the Code2.org Discord? I can probably go there, but I don't see any Discord link on the Code2.org site. What if it's a public Discord? Maybe we'll find it from there. Let's see. Discord does not like Firefox, so we'll bring up a Google Chrome tab. Yeah, probably just search public Discords. So this may be it. Looks like just wants to do a temporary name. I hate Discord. Discord's such an unreliable program. I don't want to do a CAPTCHA. Let's see. Boot up Discord normally because it looks like the Discord web browser is not properly syncing with the application. Here we go. Right, you have to do a phone number verification, really? I'll worry about this a little bit later. I'll look for the replay. I don't want to take time and do phone verifications on stream. Let's see, 3 minutes. Still got to wait 3 minutes before there's any decent length one. Now I need to find my phone. Good thing I didn't leave at work again. There we go. And now first immediately mute it. Let's see, replays. And let's see, Punisher. So let's see. Here we go. Punisher, Thales, Angry Dutchman. There we go. Let's see. Bring up the code to folder. Delete these other. And there we go. Probably need to reboot the game client because this game doesn't do live updates, so another reboot. My apologies, everyone. And Windows, keep an eye on the chat and play. There we go. Alright, I think I found the replay that you're referring to. Or I found one of a replay that you uploaded. Whatever one that you uploaded last, I'm doing it. Oh, in the middle of this, apparently there's also 3 spam bots asking for, oh, here's cheap viewers at this website. Of course. I'm so glad I took time and got rid of that. Huh? Not there? Maybe it's some sort of mod pack? Is there any mod pack to this one? Because it's not showing. I do not. The only mod I have installed is my own. Oh well. Well, I'll worry about it a little bit later. Too much waiting around. Let's find a replay that is now live. So we got a very small selection. Let's see, there's double OKW. Let's still double OKW. The other double Brits, or we could try. Yeah, this one should be well enough. Sorry, too much waiting round. I'll try to take time and look, try to get it working, but yeah, waste too much time just trying to wait for a game. Yep, need to turn on back my macros. There we go. Greetings everyone, and great here of another Comp Heroes 2 replay. Spawn on the south side as the blue Soviet player, we got Shazi. Spawn as the yellow British forces, we got Koryoshi. Spawn north side as the magenta OKW player, we got Senator. Spawn as the red Wehrmacht player, we got Slavyanon. You pronounce N separately or not? Either way, do we have 3 doctrines already selected? We got the Mobile Assault Regiment, Counterattack Tactics, the Strategic Reserves Doctrine, and of course we also now have the Luftwaffe Ground Forces Doctrine. Fuel sector now being captured on up. We do have the munitions sector being captured. Intersection pushing towards the VP over here. We got the conscripts catching this sector there, and the conscripts heading over here. Early British mortar summoned on in for the Mobile Assault Regiment. Usually see the Royal Engineers summoned, not the mortar. He is fighting against the OKW or Wehrmacht forces, so a chance of M242 is very likely. So going for an early mortar does make sense. Assault Grenadiers should get nice and close. Right now he's too focused on hitting the Pioneers, plus they're not actually fighting at the moment. Each section seeing a bit of fire. Competition comes for a nice little flank, and a great mortar hit there on the MG42. Assault Grenadiers are still far too idle, and his MG42 does fall back there. We do not have tier 1 script. We do have Grenadiers on the build queue. MG42 could get wiped out with Combat Engineers. That could be a great pick there by the Combat Engineers, and does get it, and the Combat Engineers will pick it up. So the mortar was a great call. Combat Engineers helping out his teammate was a good call. Overall, it's going very well for the Allies and very poorly for this Wehrmacht player. The OKW player has pretty much nothing on his side. And the intersection will escape on out there. This intersection, okay, just push the light cover there. Or I could just stick back farther away, the better. Now I've got the mortars hitting over here. Over here, got double Kupferwagen uploading view. Conscripts see a bit of damage there. Got the Grenadiers falling on back. Kupferwagens keep his distance, getting some damage there. Kuvagan taking severe damage. Sherman Pioneers, of course, being tied up here means they can't be repairing up the Kuvagans. So the Kuvagans are knocked out. The Sherman Pioneers are getting tied up and about to get knocked out. They're getting annihilated. And they get wiped out.
Forward elements report an infantry unit lost.
I have a feeling since I think the game service restarted or something of that sort, where I think the matchmaking is a little bit in hectic, where people getting matched up based on skill level, or maybe this is just how the skill level of these players. No offense. Now these Kuvagans gonna be further knocked out. He needs another Sherman Pioneer. These things are completely worthless at the moment. Assault Grenadiers charging right forward, able to easily overrun the Royal Engineers. Royal Engineers do fall back a little bit late, but early enough so they don't get wiped out. Team sections need to just stand and fight. Sometimes just running away allow you to take so much free damage. Infiltration grenades or the assault grenades thrown there. Great mortar hit there. This guy's about to get wiped on out. Falls back to both. Regular Grenadiers here. When it comes to these assault squads,
We are suffering losses.
great landmine. When it comes to assault squads, sometimes the correct answer to fight them is literally just stand there and fire. Light response there. Does need to fall back relatively soon with it. And the mortars being aggressive, trying to capture that sector. May want to turn on hold fire, so then automatic doesn't want to try to automatically deploy. So you can at least hit the retreat button the first sign of trouble.
Machine gun ready.
Landmine being built there.
Mines in place. Watch your step, boyo.
Conscripts decapturing the central VP. Penal squad now deployed in the field. Oh, flame half track. I was not expecting that. Oh, looks like Ivan won't be cold for the winter. Mortar does fall back. Possible chance he gets wiped out.
The new Grenadier squad is ready.
Another Assault Grenadiers. I'm not a big fan of Assault Grenadiers. The map is too wide open. 6-pounder shot onto the Flame Half Track. Flame Half Track goes down. Actually was abandoned. The heat grenade finished it off. Grenadiers take a bit of damage here. Rifle grenade firing. And he goes, get fully wiped out. Red is losing a lot of squads. We got quite a bit of blob here. Guess he really didn't wish he lost that MG42. Assault grenades thrown. And largely missed. And dodged. And wiped.
We are losing Soldaten.
Black half track firing away. Kuvagan, one has engine crit, the other one is repaired up. A landmine there. Did this one fight a landmine as well? They look like a similar damage. Professional minesweepers. As long as you don't get blown up and die from mine, you're a professional. They got only blown up, not die. More Volkswagens in the build queue. Got a flak half track. Another SW's half track in the field. Needs a bit more resources before able to get both either Sheer Pens quarters or the mechanized HQ.
Our HQ is under attack.
Does have a life mechanized company. Maybe a 2-2 could be quite nice. But right now the M4 is just getting ripped apart in negative ground and gets decrewed. Assault Grenadiers get ripped apart as well. Negative cover. You just die. Black Capture coming for a flank. We do have AT grenades available, and PTRS has popped at a pretty opportune moment. And he's focused on the conscript squad. Force fire the ground. Nope. Just backs off all out of there. MG42 has been recruited by the Assault Grenadiers. Another MG42 being pulled out by Red.
MG42 team is ready for action.
Einsatzbereit. Shut up!
In section behind some good heavy cover.
HMG crew is ready.
Nice thing about this MG42, it looks like a bit immersed there. It's mostly crewed by combat engineer models, and combat engineers are actually decent fighters, and they'll be a 5 rather than 4. MG42 engaging the Kovagan should make short work of it. Gets gunned down. AT grenade should have been cancelled. I guess he's not used to using an MG42 against Kovagans.
Compound has been converted into the headquarters building.
Infiltration grenades or assault grenades there. Dex Pounder does need to fall back. No Vickers. Probably could stand to get a Vickers. Maybe even a Bofors at this rate. Does decide to get out the company command post. Very nice. So maybe an early Cromwell. Even potentially early Centaur is feasible at this point in time. They've been maintaining double fuel income. Right now, the British player has 55 spare fuel. So should be able to rush out either of those options. Just don't go straight for a Churchill. As much as like Churchills are too slow for a rush. Kino PTRS backs on off. And the Storm Pioneers do fall back a little bit there. MG42 setting on up. Conscripts do get suppressed. Commandeers do get pinned down. Not Commandeers, intersection. Looks like this guy was a little bit too out of the heavy cover there and got the entire squad suppressed. British player should have enough fuel relatively soon to get out an armored asset. Pino's in the center, MG42 here, or M34. Flak gun there. I wouldn't spend fuel on that right now. He does go for mechanized HQ, which I sort of disagree with that. I think he should probably go on for the sheer panzer quarters, which will also provide some good fuel control, better than a flak gun, as well as at this point in time a Jagdpanzer would be the ideal item to deploy on the field, because they're going to need something a little bit heavy anti-armor asset. That guy needs to fall back, severely wounded. Section in good heavy cover there. Mortar providing some fire support. Austere MG42 is advancing. This guy's out of range. May just try and push forward to this bit of light cover there. Wouldn't be half bad. I suppose opponents charging way forward will also help them out. Assault Grenadiers going to get ripped apart here. And may get fully wiped out there. MG42 firing away. We may see a bundle grenade.
Our brave infantry is dying.
Those assault grenadiers to go down as well. So not sure what's being brought in right there. OKW smoke run, very nice. The Panzer Grenadiers get fully wiped on out because intersections behind some heavy cover are very effective. And there's still 4 models alive. If he wins the fight, he can just use these medics to heal them back up. Won't be at 5 members, but 4 members still pretty good. Basically stock with efficiency. Mortar hitting the MG42. Got some landmines there. Got the Panzer Grenadier now being deployed in the field. Conscript squads do fall back. One almost got wiped on out. We got a KV-1. KV-1s are excellent. At this point in time, Jagdpanzer will need to be the option. Pumas don't have enough armor pen nor damage to deal with KV-1s. Flak half-track gone down. He has gone for double flak emplacements, so I disagree. Flak emplacements has to be very limited deployment. And Shogun Pioneer is getting crushed there. Pancheck rolls a miss. You can't take out the crew members of the flak half emplacement anymore, which was a good change. As honestly, they're still pretty garbage. Now it's exploded.
One of our forward structures has been destroyed. Anti-tank rockets on the field.
Enemy movement! On the flank!
Good hits there, and the light does go down. Wagen goes on down. Again, Warfare gets a good pen there, but I don't think that's enough damage onto it to get a snare off. Now it is. Got these forces moving around. Now the intersections are equipped with Brenns. How badly is Red doing? As one Panzer Grenadier, one Pioneer, one MG42, and currently at Battle Phase 1. Has no fuel for Battle Phase 2. Probably should go for it and go for some up-armed Panzer IVs or a Stug or two. Does go for Panzer Shreks and the Panzer Grenadiers. Satchel charge thrown there, no response. One squad gets blown up. They've become omnipotent because they are now everywhere. Panzer IV, or not Panzer IV, T-30, KV-1, blah. He push away forward, gets a great shot there on the Panzer Grenadiers in negative cover. But at this point in time, the KV-1 just needs to fall back and get some repairs. It really needs to fall back. He is playing with too much fire. Does take a nice AT gun shot and lose the KV-1 a little bit foolishly.
Another vehicle has been lost in the defense of the Rodina.
MG42 or 34 hitting this entire blob.
Lines have been cut.
Now got a Comet tank on the field. I disagree with the Comet tank. Centaurs and Chromos were a little bit better at this moment in time. And cheaper. At this point in time, you could have gone for, what, 2 Chromos? Right now he has 76 fuel. The Comet tank is 175, plus Hammer is another 50, so that's 225. Well, a Chromo is 110, so you could have got out 2 Chromos, which would have been better. Would buy a lot more anti-infantry, because they don't have to worry about anti-armor. Red almost has Battle Phase 2 research. By the time that gets completed, he will have enough for a Stug and perhaps a Panzer IV. By this point in time, Stug's probably the way to go.
Our industry grows to support us.
Magenta has a SWS half-track in the field, cannot deploy out to Sheer Panzer quarters at the moment, let alone get Panzer authorization. Right now, even a Bofors would be very difficult for Red to deal with. Aircraft does explode there. Intersections pushing down or upwards down across the road. Good damage there. Pioneers does force back the MG42. Though they probably could have actually won by defending themselves as 3 models versus 5 models of combat engineers. Here comes a land mattress. Oops. Finding some trees. Conscripts do get suppressed there. KV-134 got Bren's
Killed a machine gun crew.
forced back the Panzer Grenadiers. Another MG-42 went down, and another well-placed landmine wipes out another squad and drops a Panzer Track. And decides, you know what? Third time's charm. Put another landmine there. Does not get the snare there because KV-1s are pretty well healthy. Takes a lot of damage onto them before it gets the Panzerfaust off and damages the engine like that. The kind of warfare does get decrewed. We've got the flak in place. I'm actually doing some work there. It looks like that the kind of warfare is really smoking. I see a lot of heat waves there. We've still got a handful of Soviet landmines. Been seeing these guys around.
Filling up supplies.
This one is damaged, so it probably was damaged by friendly fire. Land mattress barrage. That can make short work of that garrison. It was focused on the garrison. Panzer Grenadiers may get wiped on out. Panzer onto the KV-1. Fresh Panzer Shreks. Auto grenade. And wiped out.
Land mattress artillery on the way.
And looks like the Axis players do surrender. This is Angry saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Let's try to find an actual good game. Because that was not a good one. It was heavily one-sided. I think it was because since the servers restarted and everybody's getting new games, there was probably a bad ELO matchup. But before I actually get started, I do need to get a drink. My voice is getting a little bit scratchy at the moment. So with that, I'm back. Let's try to find actually a good game. Boop, 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 boop. Let's see. Hopefully reasonable enough. There's also rails and metals, so a little bit of a tighter map. So more of a slugfest. This may be my last game for tonight because my throat is. Oh, howdy! Welcome to the stream. Thank you for the raid, Crossfire_Co2. Let's see what this game has in store. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another couple Euros to replay straight from Live Games Lobby. Spawn top right side as the blue OKW player. We got Positron, which that name well enough. Spawn as yellow OKW ally. We've got TR Young Rutra. On the south side as the magenta USF, we got Yurds. And spawn as the red Soviet player, we got Flop.
We got a rifle squad waiting for orders.
We do have 2 Dachshunds immediately locked on in. We got the Recon Support Company with the IR Pathfinders, which could be brought on in. We do also have the Elite Armor Dachshund by the OKW player, or a OKW player. Yellow could go for Overwatch, quite likely. Grand Offensive, possibly. And Special Operations Doctrine, also quite possible. 3 common doctrines. And for red, we've got the Guard Motor Coordination Tactics, which is very likely. After all, that's basically everybody's default nowadays. Defensive Community Tactics, possible. All depends how the game goes. He's gone for tier 1, so more possibility there. Give him access to M42, which is okay, not great. And the Airborne Troop Tactics. Yep, I'm not familiar who Yurds is.
The sector is secure. Yes?
We do now have the Penal Squad heading to the center of the map.
We have a new
Shooting
scout
Pioneers
craft
capturing
on
up
this
the VP. Rifleman Squad and IR Pathfinders advancing. Shooting Pioneers do get out of the garrison, taking too much fire. Instead of the map, we do have the Column Engineers behind some good heavy cover. Column Engineers are decent for their price, so that should be easy engagement for them. Volks Grenadiers capture the fuel sector and just going to keep it secure. He's only care about the fuel. And Shooting Pioneers eyeing for the bit of munitions to feed his hungry guns. We do have an M3 now deployed in the field. And no flamethrower just yet. Needs a little bit more munitions. They're at 45, 46, 47. Now they're at 50 munitions. So we'll charge forward. He's keeping at the edge of the sector, ready to get it queued on up. Shooting Pioneers to the center. Mortar raining on in. So we got a US mortar on the field. US mortar is okay, not the greatest item, but I actually do find combos quite well with the IR Pathfinders. You try not to use IR Pathfinders as aggressively as the other Pathfinders, and I've had great use with IR Pathfinders. Just stick around, hold fire, camouflage, spot for the mortar, get the increase or reduce scatter. M3 straightforward. Flamethrower now fully upgraded. He likes his sauerkraut extra crispy. This Volkswagen, of course, does not have the Panzerfaust just yet, and does fall back there. We do also have a Soviet sniper on the field. Soviet sniper got forced back by his teammates' Volksgrenadiers. This Volksgrenadier is getting some damage there. Shooting Pioneer advancing. And it looks like Commandeer does get outside of the M3, maybe trying a bit of repairs. Nope, he's just going to get inside the garrison, and the M3 is going to fall back. Double Shooting Pioneer pursuing, but does lose vision range. Flamethrower in the garrison, but out of range. He does spot the M3, he's going to try to run it down. The M3 at the point in time probably just reverse on back home.
Sector is at risk.
Volksgrenadiers do get wiped out there. Probably too busy trying to micro up here to pay attention to that squad.
Enemy forces
And
are
does get
attacking
fetches
the
one,
front
pops
yard diligently.
overdrive, but I don't think it was needed because I think he was out of range. We got now the 2-2-1 now pulling the field. Penal Squad gets forced him back. And the Shooting Pioneers are going to try to get a bit of damage on that Penal Squad. Probably won't get wiped on out. Double IR Pathfinders. IR Pathfinders is not one of those units you really want to mass produce. They only have one scope rifle as opposed to 2 as the regular Pathfinder squad. But the Shooting Pioneers there, they're pretty wounded, so the snipe shot is very likely on them.
AT grenades now available to all conscripts. Conscripts, now you can use Molotovs to burn those bastards.
AT grenade connects to the 221. The 221 has 240 health rather than the 222, so a 320 health. It just needs to be upgraded to a 223 to get the increased health, but it can no longer be upgraded to it.
Vehicle destroyed.
Volksgrenadiers sticking by the carcass there. Partial fallback. They're far too wounded to deal with the conscripts. Even if his teammates Volksgrenadiers nearby, falls back there. You have a fighting position here. Fighting positions are always quite nice. People complain about Wehrmacht bunker spam occasionally. They never really complain. Nobody really complains about U.S. fighter position spam, because people don't ever spam them out, even though they're cheaper. Volkswagen is behind some good heavy cover, as well as behind some good heavy cover. Penal Squad needs to be focused down. Looks like all the squads focused on Penal Squad, so he needs to fall back sooner rather than later because he's prone to being wiped at this exact moment. Blue's going for the wipe. Gets one guy there, and gets the full wipe. Don't think he's going to get the conscript, though.
Half-track has arrived on the battlefield.
We do now have a yellow flat half-track. The US player is going for his own AA half-track. Volkswagen needs to fall back there. And an excellent mortar hit there onto the Volkswageners with STGs. Both withdrawals there, he probably has medics back at home. Both of the Oaklanders have gone for Battle Group HQ for some medics primarily. M3 charge wave forward with overdrive enabled. Volkswagen is getting melted by the flamethrower, or immolated, I should say. Another 221 deployed in the field, taking a lot of damage. US is particularly effective versus light vehicles due to high volume fire, and does take that one out as well. Black half track set up right there. Commandeer spot the Stone Pioneers, doesn't want to get close to them. I realize I have my drink next to my wrong hand. Captain pushes way forward. We've got Pathfinders behind him. Oceaneers pushing forward over here. Neither of the Oakley players have deployed out another SWS half track. US player, of course, has gone for captain, has upgraded. No major just yet. We do now have a Panzerfaust onto the A half track, but should be safe enough for now. Show Pioneers do get suppressed there. Show Pioneers took some damage, but they are just fine. We do fall back there. We do have now the Volkswageners forced back the IR Pathfinders.
We're losing a capture point.
And nice bit of smoke there by the US player. Probably just worried about a Vikehnwerfer, but that's simply not the case. I don't think Blue's even gotten a Vikehnwerfer on the field yet. No Vikehnwerfer in the field just yet by Blue. Of course, we have Castle Vision. They don't. You can't blame the US player for map hacking because there is no AT gun to be worried about. Volkswageners are getting pretty wounded there. This Volkswagener comes over a bit of a flank. Panzerfaust connects. 223 advancing. Third time to charge. M42 on the field. Lamer engineers who fall back. Has canister shells loaded, so he's hitting the Volkswageners, but it does have prioritized fire turned on. AA half track straight forward. Vikehnwerfer rolls a miss there. 223 does escape on out of there. A half track's gonna floor it. And not reverse move away. 223 probably should just find a good position and set on up. He's probably going to put on this fuel sector, get more fuel. Rifle squad and captain engaging the Volkswageners to force them back. Volkswageners capture the munitions sector.
Supply half-track is in action. Standing by for setting of command post.
Two IR Pathfinders and the rear echelon squad there. Volkswageners behind some good heavy cover. We do have now the AA half track force back the Volkswageners. Volkswageners do fall back up north. The 223 and the flak half track Nova engine crits. Conscript behind some heavy cover, but no conflict at the moment. Overall, it feels like the Axis players or the Allies have a pretty good hold on the map. but their advantage is only slight. We could see the airborne combat group. Some paratroopers with some bazookas could be quite nice. Or paratroopers in 1919s. Sheer Pan score is now being established by yellow. Red has, or the other player has plenty of fuel, so he has not gone for Sheer Pan scores just yet. He does have the half-track on the field. Forkenwerfer eyeing a shot on the M15, but does manage to keep on out of there. Not sure if they realize they're fighting against Overwatch doctrine just yet. No Jaeger infantry on the field. But keeping the AA half-track alive to take out the aircraft would be quite nice. But then keeping the AA half-tracks always alive is always quite nice. Shroom Pioneers take a bit of damage. They probably will not be wiped on out. Volksgrenadiers pushing over here. Got two M42s here. As I mentioned beforehand, he has gone to defensive community tactics. He does have canister shells loaded on both of them. Sniper does get okay shot there on the Volks. Fires a canister shot there. I don't think he got a lot of damage or any at all. Does fall back now. This one's loaded with armor piercing. That structure got destroyed by from the IR Pathfinders. The repairs on the M15. And we do have now the Major deployed on the field. Decent hit there onto the M42. Good shot there in the Volks. Conscripts here to protect. Sniper's only a minor risk of being wiped out. Forkenwerfer rolls and misses on the M15. Shroom Pioneers on the VP, and now we've got T-34-76 on the build queue. T-34-76 with its RAM combos quite nicely with the anti-tank Overwatch. And also he's very low manpower at the moment, so reinforcing is not a real big-ish capability, and the snipers are likely getting wiped out there.
We are losing territory.
Sniper does get killed off.
Infantry has been killed. Death before retreat.
Volksgrenadiers taking a bit of damage there from Flamethrower. They're really stacked up, taking a lot of AoE damage. Jaeger infantry now reveal themselves, so that gives an indication there's only two doctrines available that has them, so he has an idea which two doctrines he's gone for. But probably has a good idea he's gone for Overwatch, because barely anybody plays Scavenge anymore. But Scavenge is still a pretty nice doctrine. Infiltration grenades is very nice. And probably a little bit more usable than the Left 18. Bit of fire there. Captain Jaegerlight, not Jaegerlight, IR Pathfinders get some good hits there on the Volksgrenadiers. Jaegerlight Infantry and Volksgrenadiers will go and take out this M42. Has camouflage turned on, has armor piercing rounds loaded. Gets a good pin there onto the black cap track. Columns will need to fall back, about to get wiped on out. T-476 has one pen from the Forkenwerfer. The other M42 is getting ripped apart. Overall, the M42s have not been very well used. They've been wiped out repeatedly so far. Forkenwerfer gets a good shot there onto the T-476. And we have an incendiary grenade there onto the conscripts. I have a feeling Yellow's going to try to salvage these M42s rather than try to capture them. Yep, salvage. And possibly the T-34-76 can deal with it. But it is so wounded. This is very dangerous. And now he's one shot away from death. If that Panzer Shrek hit, he would have been done for. That Panzer Shrek rolled a miss as well, so the T-34-76 is getting a little bit lucky there. It does manage to skip on out of there.
Enemy forces are capturing our supplies.
Volks Engineers and Shun Pioneers push way forward. Oh, look at this. We got a fuel cache and 2 munition cast by a Veramok player. So the US player is going to fuel their economies quite nicely. He also has a Sherman tank 1 field. No high explosive rounds just yet. He has a lot of munitions for cluster bombs, that's for sure. So US player could go out a little bit more in the field. He only has 1 rifle from the squad. He has a decent amount of manpower reserve. Maybe some M1AT guns would be quite nice. He can always power build some items for the captain as well. Double pen there onto the Sherman tank. Sherman tank's almost down by the double cannon woofer. Gets a Petzl, and Will Baron managed to barely escape on out of there. IR Pathfinders do fall back there. Morton needs to fall back. Veteran 1, almost Veteran 2. Rifle squad and captain pushing way forward. Bit of damage there. Mortar may get decrewed. Does get Veteran 2 with 1 well-placed hit on these Volks.
The capture point is under attack.
And both of the squads do fall back. VP there being decaptured. T-3 76 push way forward, trying to hit that cannon woofer. Does take a Panzer Shrek shot. And the cannon woofer does fall back there. A half track in the region provides some good backline defense. And now got a Katusha on the field as well. While I'm always a bit more of a fan of mass T-34 Semi-6s, Katushas can be quite nice, especially when your opponent has a decent number of cannon warfers already in the field. And looks like almost took out that T-34 Semi-6 once again, but does manage to escape on out of there. IR Pathfinders could bring in some ordnance on top of those. He is bringing some ordnance. Gets double pen there. Pikes of rounds loaded, and that IR Pathfinder's rounds land pretty quickly, but it does manage to escape on out of there. And Jaeger Infantry barely managed to escape out of there as well. Lag rolls a miss. Now got the Sherman tank getting repaired on up. T-34 getting repaired on up. Russian squad could help out the repairs on either of those vehicles, or maybe both. Second Katusha on the build queue. I think another T-34 Sim-6 would be a good idea. Maybe even also an SU-85 since he only has a capture cannon woofer. Armor piercing rounds being loaded. Panzer IV rolls a miss. Sherman tank rolls a pen.
Points are down to 300.
Not enough command points for anything of watch. Panzer IV took another pen there. Sherman tank taking some pens as well. I think the allies should just fall back. Axis players should probably fall back as well. Don't push forward, because the cannon is doing more work than the Panzer IV and the anti-armor roll. Good damage on the Volksmaniers, and ooh, another IR artillery barrage there. Wipes out that squad entirely. So it looks like he's bringing more IR Pathfinder ordnance. It does drop pretty quickly. And it is more expensive than the cluster munitions as well. And he got 2 wipes there. Conscripts, Veteran C3 now. Volkswagen is only Veteran C1. They do have STGs though.
Have cut off a sector.
Volkswagen and conscripts. Looks like both sides will be equally bruised. Volkswagen is dancing around too much, so taking a lot of extra damage, but I think he's just concerned about the Katusha barrage. It looks like the conscripts, neither side will win this fight. Volkswagen may want to fall back. Yeah, neither side won. And now got the cannon first falling back away from all the ordnance. Jägerline tree got wiped out by the cluster bombs. Gets a good pin there onto the T-34.
Us out of here!
Double Sherman tank here. One is the first one, so it has access to radio net. Up to Panzer IV there. I think the rifle squad going for tank rifle grenade. Not enough damage to actually get the snare.
Under fire! Capture point
Russian squad gets inside the garrison. Sherman tanks, I have a feeling they're going to charge the Panzer IV.
unknown force! Panzer engaging!
Smoke rounds raining on in. Good pin there on the Panzer IV. Panther, however, is a hard counter for the Shermans. Good pin there. Panzerek does get a good shot on the other. Not much the US player can push forward with the Panther in the region, and all the other support it has. T-476 gives some shots there onto the Oberstaratzen. And Panther pushed forward, gets a good pin there on the T-76, but Kenwerfer sitting on up, try to get a shot, does get a shot on in. Captain and IR Pathfinders push forward. And the Volkswagens do get forced on back. And we do have a Left 18 on the build queue by Yellow, which is a decent number of support weapons in the field, so that could be quite nice. And not too many. Here, Katusha Barrage. Looks like it wiped out Volks, and I think there may be something else may have went down there as well. So big losses by Yellow. Looks like the T-476 does take a nice bit of hits, but does manage to keep on out there. And the Conquerors do fall back.
Paratroopers ready.
Oh, we got a paradrop group there. Looks like two of the guys died upon somewhere. Of course, they do have airborne reinforcements thanks to the nearby radio beacon. There's also now a pack howitzer up on the field.
Now available.
Ooh, good shot there on the conscripts. Good shot there.
Our fighting position now has some
Sherman tanks push way forward. Gets a good pin there on the Panzer IV.
Swing the gun! They're on the flank!
Folks in there take some fire. Heat rounds utilized by Blue.
One of our fighting
Panzer Faust does connect on the Sherman tank. Good heat round there.
armor ready. Orders complete!
Sherman tanks are effectively forced on the back. Taking quite a bit of damage there. Left 18 barrage on top of the Major. Force him to redeploy. Now he's going to have a bit of time before he can get reset up the retreat point.
And ready to go. Krauts are taking one of our points. Tank destroyer is ready for action.
Artillery raining on in. A half-track is hitting the garrison. Obersassen did get in there. The garrison's almost destroyed, so stay out of that garrison. It's about ready to fall over.
Mobile command has been set. The static post is now in operation.
Blue now has all structures available for the King Tiger. You can always go with the Sturm Tiger. A half-track does go down, giving more freedom for the Sector Assault now. The 476 does take a shot there. And here comes a Katusha Barrage. Decent spot, but looks like he just rolled bad luck. Yeah, overall rolled bad luck. Volkswagen is heading down south. This VP is captured by the Allies. The Allies do have less VPs than the Axis players at the moment. And both those squads do fall back.
Prepare to for action.
Good bounce there. Hikes with rounds currently loaded on both.
A capture point is
Jackson full in the field. Heat round with Sherman. Volkswagen taking some more damage there. Panzer IV has 2 pens onto him. Only 1 pen onto one of the Sherman tanks, but of course it is 1.5.
Ready for action.
And decides to blitz on out of there.
Here's command.
Before 76 engaging the Obersalatsen. Here, Howitzer barrage somewhere. Looks it's landing right around here. Pack houses still not claimed. Looks like the Howitzer barrage may be laying down here actually. And looks like major restops to 4 HQ or forward retreat point there. Before 76, push way forward. Rams. Anything Overwatch now utilize. Let's see, where's the edge of the radius? There's the edge of the radius. Taking some good damage there. Doesn't take too long to get ramped up so it can self-spot. As long as it has damage, it will self-spot. It does take up the Panther there. So, expensive trade, but it's probably worth it for the Soviet player. Spending a lot of munitions there to take out a Panther. And of course, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, every player does have access to the Sector Assault now, and plenty of missions for it. It does cost 275, he has 300 at the moment. Oh, and looks like demolition charge there onto our Pathfinders does severely wound them. Molotovs thrown, force back the Sherman Pioneers. The Volkswagen is going to be very warm.
Now stand at 300 points.
Volkswagen is sitting down south. Flamethrower squad could engage. Over here, we do have the Jackson. We got the paratroopers and our Pathfinders in tow. Up here, got the flak half track here, and we got the Engineers capture up the VP as well. So we got triple capture in favor of the Allies. X-Players do have more VPs at the moment, but that can rapidly change. Our Pathfinders push way forward, and both the cannon morphers are falling back now. Left 18 eyeing the barrage. Somewhere back here. That's not where the Major's at. Can't accuse him with map hacking then. Panzer IV push way forward. Does find the Jackson. It is Special Sig 2. Jackson, now there's the ones who have access to the HEVAP. I hear also a King Tiger on field. Blue has blood out King Tiger. Sherman tanks do find that Volkswageners, force them back. Panther here. Yellow has what, another Panther. Which right now the Soviet player does not have any armor on the field. So the Panther's an interesting choice in this matchup. I can understand engaging the Sherman tanks and Jackson. I'm also a bit more biased towards Jagdpanzer, so if for anti-tank assets. With its longer range, it's easier to keep it alive, and still has good armor, and can get good health to boot. When it gets to what, efficiency 2, gets the armor skirts and kind of an extra health, which makes it so it can withstand 4 shots and not die. S-35 in the boot queue for red, very nice. He has plenty of munitions for more anti-tank Overwatch.
Sherman ready to go.
Sherman tanks loading up armor-piercing rounds. One thing that the US player could do is actually try to get behind, stop, and then let the anti-tank Overwatch get some good work done. Sherman tanks are advancing. Does about the cannon warfare. I feel like we're going to see cluster munitions here. Do not. Volksgrenadiers now versus 5, so we may see Panzerfaust. No HEVAP rounds. We got Sector Assault from the other OKW player. So Magenta needs to just run away. The Jackson's taking up quite a bit of pounding there, but this is the edge of the radius. So no longer can be target of new airstrikes being outside of it. Looks like I got Left 18 Barrage ringing over here. Getting pretty close to the IR Pathfinders, was probably barraging right there. I actually have no idea where it's exactly barraging. Obusatsu on the center of the map. We do have now Conscripts trying to capture up this VP. They at least got it decaptured. Conscripts need to fall back now. I hear IR Pathfinders do launch artillery barrage there. King Tiger's only slightly wounded. It'll take a little bit of time to buff out those dents. Future barrage raining on in. Good pen there onto the Panzer IV. Awesome dudes fall back there. We've got now a incendiary grenade there. IR Pathfinders do largely avoid it. They do get splashed a little bit. IR Pathfinders do walk through that fire. They do brave the flames. Their inner fire is stronger than the outer fire. And this Obusatsu squad does fall back. Not Obusatsu. IR Pathfinders. Sherman tanks may actually nuke it. They do not. Volksenator gets a good shot there. Double Jackson here. Volksenator takes a fire. Does fire Panzer stuff there. Now we've got the rest of the infantry charging the way forward. Sherman tank should be able to escape out of there. We've got Left 18 barrage there. Pulse munitions on top of the Volksenator. Does manage to survive there. King Tiger gets a bit of a hit there on the captain. Nothing too significant. Not enough munitions for more heat rounds. Sherman tank went down. I think it was from the Left 18. Jackson push forward. Did we see Hevap? We do not. Does get a couple good pins there. That does take some damage in return. Yellows push forward over here with anti-Volksenator. S35 gets a good shot. Conscripts are pretty wounded. I'm assuming he has medics? Yes, it does. Soviet landmine back there, sniper firing away. Conscript still being picked away. And here comes a crucial barrage onto the Volksenator, severely wounding one, or wiping out one. Obusatsu needs to fall back as well, but he's too busy microing the King Tiger. We're now versus one for Spearhead. Obusatsu does escape on out of there, Volksenator does get fully destroyed, and we've got these Obusatsu's advance way forward. Conscripts behind some good heavy cover. We now have another T-476 on the build queue. I think that's going to be for another ram. Panzer IV gets a good shot there on the conscripts. We got now the captain being forced on back. Conscripts Urawing gets a pen there. And snare there. Good shot there, brings the anti-tank Overwatch. A slowed down Panzer IV has trouble escaping from the anti-tank Overwatch, but it doesn't mean it can't. It's also smaller tracker than a King Tiger, so it can dodge, at least from the artillery, not necessarily from the Su-85. Finish off the carcass. Ooh. That Left 18's been has been decent. 16 kills, a little bit of damage for something. That must have been for Katyushas. I think Overwatch has now ended. Good shot there from the Panther on the Su-85. Needs to turn off focus sight. Gets a good pen there. But the Panther is mobile. Already got a first shot on in. Sniper falls back. Good hits there from the capture Volksenator. S-35 is one shot away from death. Blitz, T-34 in pursuit. Misses. And does go down to T-36. Does not get another shot off there. Panzerfaust does connect. Another Panzerfaust can finish off. And Mechanism rolls a miss. Mechanism rolls another miss. And another Panzerfaust is going to be likely.
Half-track is now available for operation.
Here, Katyusha Barrage there, hitting the Mechanical Warfare. T-36 also hitting it. And the S-35 has gone down to that Panzer Shrek, or Panzerfaust. Gets abandoned. This is blue.
Standing by.
Nope, he does not have access to the emergency refuel repairs. That is not an ability available on captured tanks. If it was, then you could hit that button, repair out the crits, and run. S-35 has gone down.
Medium Panzer lost.
Susfus got some damage, nothing too significant though. The landmine here is swept. Jackson's firing away, got C2 and Veteran C0, and Veteran C0. So it got firing line Jacksons. That Jackson takes some severe damage by Mage from the fall back. Don't need to sack it. Turn tank rolls a miss with a high explosive. Or at least got a bit of splash. Gets a great hit there, almost wiped on out. Possibly getting wiped on the next shot. If there was a next shot. Mortar does get decrewed. Minor loss at this point in time. Great shot there. Panzerfaust does connect. And Heights was round did not. Obsassin kept with the VP. T4 Sim6 repaired. Wait! It got abandoned again. I hate the abandoned mechanic. That's the reason why in my mod I removed the abandoned mechanic entirely. Final grenade was thrown. He does avoid it. I wonder if he realized there's some combat engineers to get the repairs. Jackson's falling on back, got the Volkswagen and Obsassin there, forced back to captain. Or that fighting position is still there. It is. And the Packhauser. The Packhauser is an excellent tool. Coming for a crush order. Getting great shot there. Obsassin still alive. Good chase of crushes. Turn take now for C2. Those guys will skip under there. No wipe. We do have now T4 Sim6 hold fire turned on. And looks like he hit some of the barrels around the... What was that about? It hit the barrels all around the thing. I don't think those barrels are owned. But they took all the shots.
75 points remaining. Tactical adjustments need to be made.
Folks do take a bit of damage there. T4 76 needs to fall back and get repaired on up. That S-35. I wonder if that's the same one, a different one.
Supply sector.
No, that is a different one, so he has not captured it. I wonder if he realized it. Or just being good sport and not recapturing it. I'm perfectly fine with being good sport and not recapturing it, because I think the abandoned vehicle mechanic is something that should just be removed from the game.
We have taken the enemy down to 50 points.
Jackson's charging the way forward. Good pen there on the Jackson. Looks like Yellow has back to the game. The Axis players only have 33, and looks like the other Okada player has surrendered as well. This is Grade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. As I mentioned beforehand, my voice is starting to go out, so that shall be my last replay tonight. So everyone, thank you for watching, have a good evening, and get some good rest. Enjoy.